this Gerry?
He's wireless. All right, for you on Zoom, this is something else. Okay.
I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So come take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise, I don't want pity. I bang my own drum, some thinks it's noise, I think it's pretty. Then so what if I love each feather and each bangle? Why not try to see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one life and it's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can shout, hey world, I am what I am.
Yes! Zoom is loving you.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
And now the question is, do I leave this on? Oh, okay. And Zoom thinks I should leave it on. We all, each of us, have closets. We all hide something from others. It's only natural. There are things we don't want others to see. It might be a bad habit. It might be a part of our history. It might be a part of our personality. But we all have closets that we hide in. For LGBTQ people, those closets can be lonely, frightening, or even dangerous. We hide a large part of ourselves away, fearful that if our sexuality or gender identification came to light, we would be ostracized, cut off from family and friends, left alone in the world. And sometimes that's exactly what happens. Not every LGBTQ person has the golden opportunity to grow up in a place like San Francisco or New York or other big cities where acceptance and a loving embrace are more the norm, though certainly not the only response to coming out. For many who grow up in less accepting places, the closet is a safe place, as restricting as it is. In its dark confines, there is safety even as stifling as it can be. Not everywhere is accepting, welcoming, and embracing as a place such as our congregation here that allows their minister to sing in a feather boa. We can congratulate ourselves that as much as sexuality matters, it doesn't matter. The song that Michael and Ron and I just did is from the musical La Cage aux Folles. It's a comedy with some very poignant moments. This song, I Am What I Am, is an anthem that one character sings at the close of Act 1. The character is a drag performer who finds himself cut off from family due to circumstances. The song is his refusal to go back into the closet and is a song urging to others to leave their closets. Get out of the dark confines of living a life where deceit and lies are a regular part of being. Get out of the closets of shame and self-deceit, denial. We, the listeners, are urged to open up our closets and live life fully, no matter what our closet is. It wasn't always this way, of course, and it still isn't possible for thousands of LGBTQ people around the globe. According to the website Human Dignity Trust, and I quote here, 66 jurisdictions around the world criminalize private, consensual same-sex sexual activity. The majority of these jurisdictions explicitly criminalize sex between men via sodomy, buggery, and unnatural offenses laws. 44 countries criminalize private consensual sexual activity between women using laws against lesbianism, sexual relations with a person of the same sex, and gross indecency. Even in jurisdictions that do not explicitly criminalize women, lesbians and bisexuals have been subjected to arrest or threat of arrest. 12 countries have jurisdictions in which the death penalty is imposed, or at least a possibility for private consensual same-sex sexual activity. At least 6 of those implement the death penalty: Iran, northern Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, and Yemen. And the death penalty is a legal possibility in Afghanistan, Brunei, Mauritania, Pakistan, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and Uganda. 14 countries criminalize the gender identity and/or expression of transgender people using so-called cross-dressing, impersonation, and disguise laws. In many more countries, transgender people are targeted by a range of laws that criminalize same-sex activity and vagrancy, hooliganism, and public order offenses. The closet for some of us is not an option. It's a necessary life-saving method of protection and safety. Even in our own country, we are finding the pendulum swinging back after the passage of marriage rights. There has been talk, of course, of rescinding same-gender marriage rights, but even more frightening are the laws aimed at transgendered people, especially transgendered youth. We heard on the radio as we drove over here this morning that 23 states have laws that are pending or on the books against LGBTQ people. The fact that many transgendered folks live lives without the support of family and have to fight the government at the same time is a tragedy of our time. We are seeing denial of gender-affirming therapy and the attack of the right on the very personhood of many in our country. But this month, June, and particularly this day in San Francisco, is Pride Month. It grows out of the resistance and riots that occurred when police tried to shut down and arrest LGBTQ folks in the 60s. Pride parades and festivals are held in cities around the world during this month. Those of us who identify with the LGBT community, whether closeted or not, find comfort in the company of others and celebrate our identities fully and openly. To a young closeted person living in a less than accepting community somewhere, just hearing about such celebrations is a refreshing wind that changes lives and affects the cores of beings. I Am What I Am is a song that celebrates self-awareness and, even more importantly, self-acceptance. It challenges those who would deny our right to exist while refusing to go back into the closet. The character Alban, or Zaza as she is known by her drag name, urges all of us to live life fully and completely, celebrating who they are and how they are made. It's not necessarily easy or without difficulties. After so much time in a closet, we become accustomed to the dark warmth it brings. The light outside the closet may be blinding, and there are those who would urge us, even push us back into our closets. But the freedom offered out of the closet is well worth it. Live life to the fullest, that song and show are announcing. Accept who you are as God has created you, and let that inner spark of God shine. Look around you. What closets define and confine you? Is it time to open up those closets and breathe the fresh air outside? Even if you don't find a closet surrounding you, are you one who makes others comfortable so that they themselves can come out of theirs? Be supportive of those in closets and realize they have to make the steps themselves to come out. But be waiting and accepting of whoever others are. Closets are for clothes, not for people. And so it is. Amen. Now I invite you to get comfortable where you are, whether you're sitting here in the sanctuary or at home, perhaps even more comfortably on a sofa or a chair. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes and see with your mind's eye through this meditation. I invite you to take 3 deep breaths, filling your lungs completely and fully emptying them. Our meditation today is going to be around the colors of the LGBTQ rainbow flag. So imagine yourself bathed in color as I describe each one and what it might mean. First is purple, spirit. Allow your mind to be filled with the color purple in all its richness and grandeur. See yourself as a free entity who may name themselves as they wish, who is free to love who they love, who is free to express themselves as they choose to. Allow your being, the thing about you that is essential, that is enduring, to soar. Simply be with this moment surrounded by purple, your being. Next is blue, serenity. Now allow yourself to feel awash in the color of the deep blue ocean. Just be here now. Lay down your burdens, your conflicts, the problems that you have been contemplating. Experience the surrender that comes from just acknowledging your right to serenity, the right to have serenity in every part of your life. Allow serenity and the color blue to wash over you. Next is turquoise, magic. Allow the dark blue to transform to turquoise. Pay attention to the transformation. Just as this transformation is allowed to take place, notice how your ability to exist as a change agent, one who may wish to transform the parts of their lives which require change. Focus your attention on the power of your magic, the power to manifest what you need for your life and every moment. Just be. The color turquoise. Green, nature. Next, allow the natural world's light to fill your focus. The color green surrounds you as you recognize the natural world in its many, many shades. Notice the naturalness of your existence, your sexuality, your gender, your way of being. Pay attention to any needs you may have for time in the natural world and to be surrounded by fresh, clean air. The sound of winds and birds, the texture of grass and leafy trees. Just be with this moment of nature as it speaks to you. Be with the color green. we turn to yellow, sunlight. Allow your attention to move up toward the sun into the color yellow. Notice the warmth of sunlight on your face and your arms and your legs. Feel the sunlight as it cascades over you. Bring to mind any parts of your life that feel dark or hidden. Is there something in the shadows that now needs to be brought to light? See this now, and allow the summer sun to illuminate this matter. This part of your life that's been hidden away, unaddressed or denied. Simply allow the sunlight to wash over every part of your life so you can feel fully its warmth and protective rays. Feel now the color yellow. Next is orange, healing. Move your attention now to the color orange. Notice how much work you've done to heal the hurts of your story, whatever they may be. Notice all that it took within you to engage in healing work and how very wise you've become as a result of the conscious effort you've put into healing parts of your life that once reflected illness, despair. If there's a part of your experience now that needs healing, allow this to make itself known. See this part of your life that is in need of healing, bathed in orange light, made clear by the power of this color. Allow awareness to come about for anything needed in order to heal this part of you. Simply be with the healing power of the color orange. Next is red, life. Allow your focus to be filled with the color red, the force of life itself. Notice the intensity and aliveness of the color red, of what it means to be fully human in this moment. Be conscious of how it feels to live in this space you occupy, this body as you experience it. Notice the vitality of all that you are in the blood flowing through your body. What it is to be here now, fully alive and present in this moment. Notice fully the color red. Pink, sexuality. Now, and shift your perspective now to the color pink. Now, this is no pale pink. This is bright, intense. This is fuchsia. It's your sacred sexuality and transcends any concerns of your partner status or present romantic activity. This is a part of you that is yours to express, to celebrate, to cherish. Allow yourself to love every part of your sexuality, experiencing this without shame or judgment. It's part of what makes you, you, and is part of your connection to all of us. Be in the celebration of your sexuality, the color pink. Brown, inclusivity. With this color connection, notice the color brown and what it felt like to feel included, to feel a part of something. Notice how it feels to have a family of choice who see you and include you, who make room at the table for you no matter what's going on for you in any given moment. And with your mind, imagine yourself including people who may have felt left out in portions of their lives. Witness the color brown and its role in your life. Is there an opportunity for you to reach further into inclusion, to provide for those who've been denied it? Brown's power can help you be more loving and inviting. Notice those qualities now as you see the color brown. Did you experience the power of giving and receiving inclusivity? diversity. See the color black. Peer into it. Let it surround you, but don't become lost or afraid in black. For the longer you stare into it, the more you're able to discern shapes. Allow your mind's eye to now fully see the shapes all around you. Queer people who exist in all directions of you, of where you sit right now. Queer people everywhere of the many beautiful races, cultures, tribes of humans. The endless expressions of sexuality and gender. The endless ways of being in the world, of representing our queerness. See the queer people of your community. Expand your scope to encompass those outside your region, outside your state or province, outside your nation. Queer people are on every inhabited continent, some who live in freedom, many who do not. Feel compassion for every queer human on the planet and every ally who loves you as you reach out with your own love and compassion. Feel the pulse of our humanity. Imagine our hearts beat as one, thundering loudly so that the world sees us and hears us. This is what it means to be queer. This is what it means to be free. Now feel free to come back to wherever you are, knowing that those colors are always around you. Let yourself become attuned to the colors of life and how they affect you. I invite you to start to wiggle your fingers and toes and maybe move your head a little. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to open your eyes and reconnect with the world in which you are now. Welcome back.
Thank you, Gerry, for that beautiful lesson and that meditation. And I'm reminded, when I was saying my gratitudes, I'm also so grateful for being born into a city in a family that was so inclusive and welcoming and progressive. And I realize that not everybody has that luxury. And those of us that do have I think, a responsibility to pay that forward. Anyway, here at Unity Spiritual Center, we are an ocean of love. At Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live. Each week, we will join together in saying one of our statements. Please join with me in saying this week's statement, which is on the screen. Our mission is, we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And in this space, feeling so inspired by our vision, mission, and values, and feeling so enriched by what we've experienced here today, let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. As Michael shares another song, you are invited to support this congregation with a check made out to USC, or cash, or by making a donation online. If you are here in the sanctuary, the ushers will come forward to take your offering. And practicing the principle of tithing ourselves as a spiritual community, we are pleased to tithe 10% of the offering collected every Sunday to various Unity organizations and local nonprofits serving our city. And let us now take a moment to bless our tithes and love offerings as we cup them in our hands or next to our hearts. And let us say our offering blessing, which is on the screen. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
So this tune almost didn't make it into the show South Pacific. It caused a lot of controversy, and in the end, it made it. You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made and people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late, before you are 6 or 7 or 8. To hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught. Second verse is where we're going. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made and people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late, before you are 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught.
Please join me in blessing our tithes and love offerings. Spirit of the living God, bless the acts of our hands, our minds, our hearts. May everything offered here at Unity Spiritual Center be a reflection of all that is good within us. Grant us the courage to patiently listen for the stirring of your presence. Enliven our spirits with humor. Fill us with reverence for one another and gratitude for our diversity. May unity, beauty, and truth be the fruit of all we do, and so it is. Amen.